All right, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for today's BRINC demo that we're going to be having of the BRINC Lemur system. Today, I'm joined with Joe, one of our enterprise executives over here at Drone Nerds, who will be actually the project manager for BRINC. I'm joined by Angad as well. Angad is actually their director of business development over at BRINC, and we also have Sean. He is their chief pilot over at BRINC. Hey, everybody. I've got you muted, Angad.
My apologies there, Sam. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on this live demo of the BRINC Lemur. My name is Angad Singh, and I'm a director of business development here. Some of you in the drone industry may know me from my previous role at Pix4D, but it's been tremendously exciting for me to come over here to BRINC because, quite frankly, I think this company is going to be very, very special in the future, and it's going to be a brand name that is going to be very widely recognized. Today at BRINC, we produce one product. It is called the Lemur. It is a tactical specific drone for domestic SWAT teams, as well as it has application for the DoD as well. This is a live webinar. Everything here will be live. We are recording the webinar. And of course, we are taking questions. And at the end, we will have a Q&A period. And so now I'm going to transfer my camera so that you get a little glimpse of the office and the manufacturing facility that we're at here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are an American company producing an American-made quadcopter. Today, we're going to have Sean, who's our chief pilot in the office, show us the BRINC Lemur. Today, he's taking it out of the box. I'm going to go up so that you can see a little bit about how the box looks. This is a customized Pelican case that we laser cut specifically for the BRINC Lemur. This is the prototype BRINC Lemur controller. It is in final stage of production. And the reason that we're utilizing a prototype controller for this today is because, quite frankly, I believe that this video will be something that folks will be looking at within a year or two. And we want to make sure that you know exactly what the product looks like in the future as well as today. So in the box, you get 2 batteries. We use a very interesting battery chemistry. It's a lithium ion chemistry, not a lithium polymer like the majority of other drone batteries, which means that you get 500 charge cycles. There will be no bloating of the battery. Those of you in the drone industry will understand what I mean by that. And you can charge it up to 500 times. Some of the other LiPo batteries in the market, you can only charge 70 to 80 times before, the battery goes bad. We're going to just show you that this is absolutely live. You can see my sneakers. You can see me and the Osmo gimbal in the video itself. And this is the drone. And quite frankly, we're going to demonstrate some of the aspects of the drone today. I'll walk you through it. And once again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Sean, when ready, feel free to arm the drone. And this is the Lemur Flying. You'll notice that the propellers are enclosed within the system. This is a carbon fiber reinforced frame. It's reinforced with nylon, and it's designed specifically for indoor tactical applications. Just so you know, this is a sneak peek at our future product that's in R&D, which is a fully enclosed drone in the box system. We actually hold a patent for that system, which I'll show you in a minute here. This is the drone pushing through a door. So think about in tactical applications, you're going to be able to get through enclosed spaces and open doors and other heavy objects. Here on the wall is our patent that I just mentioned. Now we're going to go back and we're going to walk to the front of the office here in Las Vegas. I understand it's a little loud. I'm in the enclosed space with the drone. We'll open that up in a minute. This is the front of our office. Here we have a beautiful neon sign, and then we're going to go outside. Just so that you know, we are going to walk outside, and I'm going to lose signal as I make the corner around the building. You'll still be able to hear me, but the video, I believe, will cut. And the drone's not going to cut at all. Sean still is sitting in that exact seat where you saw him earlier. He has perfect vision on the drone. The signal penetration on this device is exceptional. In fact, we're one of the only companies that's ever gotten video out of a 6-foot thick concrete bunker. We were able to get our video signal out of a 6-foot thick concrete bunker. And we went to NIST in DC and we did a federal demo and it did really well. This is one of the BRINC drones storage facilities that we use for our training objects. So here we have the official BRINC drones car, as well as the training shed. And now we're going to go through, and you're going to see that this drone's incredibly agile, and that Sean has just gone ahead and piloted it directly through the car. Now he's entering into the shed, and we're going to see him come out the door. See, the drone can hit into stuff, and induction will not allow that drone to pop up against the wall. Many of you in the drone industry may know that if you take a drone and you put it up against the wall, the props will flip it over. With the Lemur, it doesn't do that. That's our secret sauce, our software engineering inside the drone that allows it to be very stable. Now we're just going to wait. Sean's coming around. He should be walking into the room now. And we're just going to have a little show for you and show you how comfortable I am with that drone, that I can get it to fly right between my legs. And then we're going to land it on the hood of our training BRINC official police car. And now we're just going to give Sean a minute. He has to walk around the manufacturing facility and join us here in our training room. So with that, you saw signal penetration. You saw the drone's ability to open a door, push a jar door open. I know a lot of the SWAT guys, they want something that can open a closed door. Quite frankly, technology is not there yet, but hopefully we can be the brand that gets there. Today, we can only push through a door that's ajar. So now Sean is going ahead and he is just adjusting something quickly. And we're going to pop the drone back on the front. And just so you guys know, the prototype BRINC controller, it does live stream to a video. So you can see here that the drone is on and that it is live streaming to this television that's sitting on our table here. Now the drone's upside down. Why did we put the drone upside down? Because we have turtle mode. For those of you in the tactical world, I've got a couple laughs like, oh, why'd you guys name it turtle mode? Well, actually from the drone industry, that is a technical term that means that we can reverse the props and turn it over. So in a tactical operation, this drone can go down, of course. Somebody could hit it with a baseball bat. It could crash when you're going through a window, etc. Well, we're able to turn it over. So Sean's going to demonstrate turtle mode. Bam, the drone is right side up, and he can pop it right back into the air. Pretty cool, eh? Pretty robust system as well. You'll notice that on the system itself, we have on the edges these metal bars. These are essentially like a barricade ram. It's something that enables the drone to remain stable as well as to hit into objects. So we're pretty proud of that as well. And so now we're going to cut the lights, because one thing is, you know, I've been selling to public safety. I've been involved with the law enforcement world and public safety for many years now in the drone industry. And something that everybody knows is that all bad things happen at night. And so now we can demonstrate how this drone can be operationalized in the nighttime. As a tactical device, it has 4 accessories that come underneath. These are very powerful floodlights that you can utilize to illuminate the environment that you're in. Now, in addition to that, the vision system is equipped with night vision. So just as a tactical operator would have night vision goggles that they could utilize to see in a dark environment, this drone is equipped with a night vision or a phosphorus backing that allows behind the camera that with a flip of a switch, we can see. Now, this is the night vision system. It is illuminating up here. Actually, you can see it is completely pitch black. That's the drone. And this is the night vision system as we are flying through. This can be utilized to clear tight spaces, to enter confined areas, and to ensure that you can locate, isolate, and communicate with a suspect or a target within a tactical situation. Now, Sean's here. It's very dark. I understand that. But what I want to do is I just want to show you that on the actual controller, you can see live that this is the stream that's coming in from the drone. This is the actual stream here. So you can see what's happening. And I know I'm showing you on his screen, so it's a little tight. But now we're back into the training facility. I'm going to go back and we're going to see that even at nighttime, Sean is able to get that drone through that tight space. He's able to fly it through. Here at BRINC Drones, we require training when you purchase a system. This is a tactical robot. This is designed for SWAT teams with SWAT teams in mind. And because of that, we require training. Just as any professional industry, training is very critical. This drone is something that takes a class to learn how to fly. And it's designed this way. It does not have GPS. It has stabilization through a LiDAR system on the base of the drone. And the reason that it doesn't have GPS and it doesn't have obstacle avoidance sensors is because we would not be able to operate in confined spaces like this. Many of you in the tactical world may understand that typically you're entering a hoarder-like environment many times. And with this type of situation, if we had, obstacle avoidance or sensors on the object, we would simply not be able to enable you as tactical operators to operate within tight and closed spaces. So what Sean's doing here now is he switched the drone over. It's on the table. He's taking off our first payload or accessory that we showed you, which is this very powerful spotlight. Sean's going to replace this very powerful spotlight with a second accessory, which will be a payload dropper. This tool, the BRINC Lemur, is designed to locate, isolate, and communicate with suspects. The communication is something that we're very serious about here at BRINC. You're able to communicate and send them items. For example, here in negotiation situations, we found that operators in the field have actually used this drone in a tactical or a hostage situation, a barricade situation to drop items. So for example, we're going to be demonstrating how to drop a pack of cigarettes from one place to the other. For those of you that are not from the tactical world, many times we've been asked, why do you have a pack of cigarettes? What's the point of that? Well, in a negotiation situation, it's something that, negotiators will use to calm down and to essentially show that they're working with the suspect that they're in negotiations with. For those of you that don't know, this product is used extensively by Las Vegas Metropolitan SWAT Department. We're a Las Vegas company. The SWAT team here in Las Vegas has been very good to us. This whole product has been produced R&D basically in the last 3 years in conjunction with Las Vegas SWAT. Oh, Wi-Fi's down. Can you guys hear me all right?
Oh. Sorry about that, guys. We're just having some tech issues here. Just give On God 1 second. He'll be right back on. And just as a reminder, I did put in the chat box for everybody here, but just keep in mind that we will be taking questions and answers during the event itself. Don't feel free to ask away as we're going on through the demo. And if he answers anything in real time, we'll let you guys know on there. But just keep in mind that you can go ahead and pop any questions or anything like that there.
Hey, Sam, I'm back. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir. Got you right back.
All right, great.
I sincerely apologize. Our Wi-Fi went down. What an inopportune time for that to happen. I am now coming to you live again from the cellular 5G. So we understand the video is going to be a bit shaky. As soon as I'm told that my Wi-Fi is back up, I'll go ahead and put it on. We've asked all of the manufacturing staff and office staff to remove themselves from the computers to make sure that those who are watching are able to see it. But we're going to go ahead and continue with the demo. So basically, I think where I cut out was I was talking about the 4 accessories of the drone. The drone comes with 4 accessories. It comes with the floodlight attachment, a payload dropper, a glass breaker, which we will demo to you live in a moment. And then the 4th accessory is a tactical robot mount for a terrestrial robot, which I will show you. Now, the payload dropper can drop up to 1 pound. This drone has 2-way comms. We'll show that to you as well. This is the only drone on the market with 2-way comms. That's the last thing that I'll show to you. You actually just put a SIM card into the drone and you call it just like a normal cell phone. So this drone is a flying cell phone. And with the payload dropper, you're able to drop items to people in need. Can you please go ahead and drop me a pack of smokes? Smokes have been known to be a very powerful tool in a negotiation situation. And so we can show that you can go ahead and drop that. And just if my mom's watching, that's why I didn't pick it up. I want her to know I do not smoke cigarettes. They are bad for you, but they're very powerful negotiation tools. And so now Sean's going to go ahead and he's going to switch from the payload dropper and he's going to put the glass breaker on. This is the wow factor, right? Many times policing today is moving to a place where time and space are very important. With the drone goes in first. The drone is the first responder in first. And when you talk to guys that are typically front of the stack on a TAC team, they say that this is a great product because it increases the safety of officers and it increases the safety of suspects. It increases the safety all around, and I think that's why we're very passionate about this product. Blake Resnick, our CEO and our founder, who's a Las Vegas guy, he's been trained where he's done jobs at McLaren Auto, Tesla, and DJI. And then he was inspired to go ahead and produce his own drone after the October 1 shooting here in Las Vegas, Nevada. He said he cold called the SWAT team. He said, "Hey guys, I think I could build you a robot that could have helped in a situation like that." And really, that's where the passion for this product comes from. And that's why over the last 3 years, this product's been extensively designed and tested with the Las Vegas SWAT department in mind. And now they've operationalized it as well as quite a few other TAC teams around the country. And now we're turning into a full-scale production company. You saw our manufacturing facility. It's fantastic. So here, what we're showing you is a motor with a tungsten carbide Ninja Star. This is a glass breaker. This can break up to 3 panes of residential window glass. Although it does a lot better if it's less, of course, but it can do up to 3 panes of residential glass. Tint on automobiles is a bit difficult because the tint layer itself goes ahead and kind of keeps it all together, but we have been able to do that. I would show you the glass breaking on the vehicle itself. However, we've already broken all the windows, and the techs have gotten sick of replacing the windows every time we break them in the car, and cleanup sucks. So anyway, here we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you the glass breaker. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to let Sean pilot this. Woo! Oh, I got some on my face. And that is to prove to you that the glass breaker works. The tungsten carbide Ninja Star, the glass breaker, has been designed to have the glass go to the left and right in a horizontal fashion rather than a vertical fashion back at the drone, so that we can avoid glass getting into the props. Although there, you may have heard, I did get hit with a little shard of glass as we did that. It's glass. It's going to break. That's going to happen. This is why we teach and why we ensure that folks get trained here at our Las Vegas facility, because quite frankly, the technique of breaking glass is something that you got to practice a couple of times. Now, the operators that utilize this device in the field, they are professionals. They train on the equipment. And quite frankly, that's what we're really proud of, is this one accessory. I think it's a fantastic thing. You come here to Las Vegas, Nevada. Our director of training is the former senior director of training internally at Las Vegas SWAT. We work very closely with them because they're one of the most active SWAT teams in the country. And if we're building robots for TAC teams, we want to make sure that we're building the best possible device that we can. Now we're going to show you the last feature of the BRINC Lemur. Nope, actually, 1 second. Before I show you this feature, really quickly, I got to show you the last accessory mount. I totally forgot. This is a 3D printed mount that has 3M tape on the bottom of it. This is a terrestrial robot mount. So for example, if you're flying in a no-fly zone, right inside, it doesn't matter, but outside you are under the FAA's jurisdiction and you're flying in a no-fly zone, you're doing a raid or you're doing you're delivering a warrant to a residential property or commercial property that is near somewhere you can't fly. Well, you can get your I-Core or your other TAC robot up, reach the front door, and fly the drone off this. So that's why we built that device. And now we're going to show you the last feature of the drone. Remember, I've said locate, isolate, communicate on multiple instances along this webinar. That is one of the keys. And so now in this drone, we put a SIM card. We have two-way comms. You just call it like a cell phone. Sorry, Sean, I interrupted you. Can you go ahead and talk to me through the drone? I can hear you all right, Sean. It'd be great if you were a little louder. Oh, thank you so much, Sean. So, Sean, you've been on multiple barricade situations. You've been on multiple SWAT callouts during your time here with BRINC and R&D phases of this company before we took it live and made it production ready. Can you kind of tell me, what do SWAT guys think about this drone?
This drone is a... Sorry, I apologize. I took my apologize. This drone is a great tactical device that's being utilized in a hostage barricade situation to help save lives. Very useful tool.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sean. And that's something that we really want to embody here at BRINC Drones. We want to make sure that we're in it to make sure that people's lives are made safer. You know, we really like to embody that drones for good initiative. And I'm very proud to be here and to help produce a product like this. And with that, that's the two-way comms. That's the signal penetration. We're very robust. That's the video relay to a TV. Here's our glass breaker for entering structures. You have a very robust product. You have night vision. You have the ability to locate, to isolate, and to communicate with suspects. And with that, I want to say thank you so much. We're going to take Q&A now, and let's say goodbye to our buddy Lemur here.
Bye, guys.
Once again, I apologize that the Wi-Fi went down. Now we're on cellular. That's awesome. Now I'm going to be joined by Brett Kanda, who's our VP Sales here at BRINC Drones, and we're going to go through some of the Q&A that came in live. So I really appreciate everybody joining in and seeing this drone live. I think that I've been in the drone industry for a while now, and anytime a manufacturer says that their drone can do something, they need to prove that that's a capability that's real, right? We're designing products for the public safety industry, for those who are going into life or death situations. And we want to make sure that this product is truly robust. And that's why over the last 3 years, it's been in R&D. And within the last few months, we've had some really amazing round of funding and some really amazing investors that have seen the capability of this product and said, hey, okay, let's go ahead and let's let these guys get that robot out to teams that need it out in the world. So I do really appreciate that. And once again, I'm very humbled to be able to provide a piece of technology like this to the market. And now I think Brett and I will go through some Q&A. Okay, so I'm going to sign off and we're going to switch over to the computer. Thank you so much. I'll be right here.
Over to you, Sam.
Thank you guys so much for the demonstration. It's always awesome to see that thing break glass. On God, that was a great demonstration. I like the low light, especially being able to see it go through all the ducts up in the warehouse that you guys have over there. Mm-hmm. And that's a great training facility, man. That's a really good spot. And the fact that
actually, this is something that we're going to build out the training facility significantly more. We have a lot of plans on how to make it into a world-class training facility, and that's something that we're actively doing.
Nice. Yeah, and keep blowing out windows on cars. Okay, so Joe, I'm gonna go ahead and let you take over here, man. There's some Q&A here. Go ahead, man. I see you.
Great stuff. So a couple questions that popped in that I want to ask you guys. Now, one. So when we saw the bright lights, the bright light attachment that was up there. Now, is the light able to be adjusted in its volume and its brightness in operation?
Right now, it's a fixed brightness. We don't have the ability to change the lumens. Yes.
Gotcha. Now, here another one. So, when the battery needs to be swapped out, what's the downtime? How quick is that? Removing the screw, swapping it out, and getting it back in the air. What does that look like?
Less than 10 seconds. It is unscrewing, pulling out, putting back in, screwing in, and you're good to go. The minute you turn the drone on, or the minute that you put the battery into the system, the drone is automatically on and it's automatically recording to an onboard micro SD card.
Quick swap out. That's wonderful.
Yep.
With that light attachment and then also the glass breaking Ninja Star, how much would that affect the flight time? Is that much? I mean, it's a 31-minute flight time, correct? And what would that be?
So anytime you put on another attachment and add weight to the aircraft, you will have to substitute a little bit of flight time. But all of our attachments are made of, again, carbon fiber, nylon reinforced carbon fiber. So it's very, very light. So it's not going to impact your flight time very much. You might lose a few minutes.
Awesome. So when the drone is transmitting this to, like, say a HQ or a sensor like that, it's not just the pilot that's able to see that. It could be sent to like headquarters, like down the street. Describe more of this to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So we sell a separate accessory that's a video repeater receiver box. It's a small magnetized Pelican case that you'd be able to put on a Bearcat. You'd be able to put on a tripod, anything intermediary from the pilot to the drone. And that's going to not only it's not only going to 3x your command and control signal, so you'll be able to operate from further away, but it's going to allow you to distribute video feed via browser. So when you buy a Lemur, as well as the video repeater receiver box, we will provide you a video viewing backend login, and your commander could be on the beach in Cabo. Just as long as he has internet and a browser, he's going to be able to watch in on the mission with a very slight lag. And we are working to improve that video viewing capability.
That's amazing. Similar to the communication in a way, like it's a cell service that's wonderful.
Yeah.
It doesn't just have to be there in the field. A couple other questions. So, this is amazing. This is wonderful. The uses for tactical solutions. But any thought in the other industries this could be utilized? I do know that, like, that spec of being behind, like, was it how much cement wall it was able to transmit data between? That's crazy.
Yeah, it was underground in the middle of Manhattan, and it was 6-foot thick concrete walls on every side, and we were able to get a signal out. And so, although the Lemur was built for indoor tactical operations, I think there are certain search and rescue applications where it could probably be applicable. I would say the glass breaker for firefighters is really, really important. You could use the Lemur as a breaching tool to break glass, get inside, and use two-way communication to see if anybody's inside of the structure. But again, this was really a tool built for indoor tactical operations.
Awesome. So with that as well, like, let's talk more about the encryption that it can do. Like, there's encryption between the goggles, the controller, talk to us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So your command and control, as well as your video signal, are both AES 128 encrypted.
Wow, excellent.
Just real quick, just kind of going over, some of the third-party systems, right? On God being over from Pix4D, he obviously knows about how a lot of people want to integrate their drone operations into third-party systems and whatnot. If you can, just kind of provide some clarity on this, right? Like, a lot of different departments are using systems like Kitty Hawk for their drone management systems. Is this going to be integrated with any kind of third-party software?
So today the answer is no. This is a one-to-one device, and the controller, the goggle control to the drone itself, the video to the back end. Of course, interoperability with third-party systems is tremendous, and the video streaming has a lot of capability to have interoperability with existing video systems that departments may already be using. But when it comes to third-party, for example, if you're coming from the traditional mindset in the drone industry where your drone has a phone connected to it and that phone gets multiple apps from third-party software developers, this is not the system to do that. This is a very niche product. This is designed for tactical teams. This is designed for this application of clearing houses, of locating, isolating, and communicating with suspects. And it does not do other things that, typically you would think of within the drone capability. This is a niche product. This is a product designed to do what it does. And what it does best in the world.
Absolutely. Something else that we hear a lot, especially with the experience that you guys have had with the Vegas PDs and their SWAT teams, in the field, right? Like we saw your team members there replacing a couple of the items on hand, simple Phillips head screwdriver, and he was able to pop on the new attachment, the new adapter, which is awesome, right?
These are all tools that come in the kit. So a Lemur kit comes with accessory tools. It comes with spare parts as well. And part of that training that we require upon purchase of the system, you would learn how to do in-field repairs. This is an object that's going to hit into walls, that's going to, flip over, and you're going to use turtle mode to get it back. This is potentially an object that, and there have been cases in the tactical world already where this is being operationalized, where somebody's hit it with a baseball bat or slammed it against an edge of a table. In that situation, of course, stuff is going to break. And that's why it's been designed for accessories to break and not the core components of the airframe. And with that in mind, you're going to learn how to do in-field repairs and very quickly be able to change out props and ducts.
Wow. So just real quick to bring a couple other people up to speed now, talk to me about, like, the actual remote, the remote. Now, it's not used on Wi-Fi. This is used on, talk to me about the frequency used from the exact controller to the drone.
So right now, it's, again, a one-to-one connection. It's a 915 megahertz signal that we're using for command and control. And so that is currently the frequency that we're operating on. And again, today, this demo was flown via our proprietary kind of in development controller that will be ready very soon. Right now, it's a commercial off-the-shelf controller, but that's the frequency we're going to stick to even with the new controller.
Awesome. That was great. That new controller is beautiful. It was great seeing that operation. That was wonderful. Now the actual night vision. Let's talk further about the night vision compared to, say, infrared, and the exact differences and why you chose others.
I'll let Brett take this one.
Yeah, so we pretty consistently get questions about, hey, why don't we have thermal on board? Because you're going to be in dark environments. And I actually joined BRINC drones from FLIR, so I feel qualified to answer this question. And we have done quite a bit of testing of thermal in indoor environments and in the type of environments that tactical operators enter. And to be totally honest, it is really hard to determine what is what using thermal imaging for this type of application. However, if a customer does have a hard requirement for EOIR, we would be able to integrate the FLIR Hadron on board. However, all of our testing that we've done both internally and externally, night vision is the preferred optic for these types of environments that are generally dark, very cluttered, and that's kind of the feedback we've been hearing from customers.
In the short moments that I have flown it, I actually got to see it in that night vision. The clarity is wonderful with it. The term that's been, we've heard is the term prototype, but this drone has been in use with the Vegas Metro SWAT since last year. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So Blake did spend about a year developing this product, and so we're no longer in prototype phase. We'll be very, very clear about that. We are at production readiness, and I think the most important part about that is because Blake spent so much time with the customer, listening, taking their feedback, integrating the features that you now see on the Lemur. There's not a lot of development that has to happen on the airframe. However, what we're always going to be working on is flight stability, the algorithms in our downward facing LiDAR to improve flight controls, but the aircraft's ready to go. So those are the two things that we're working on is downward facing LiDAR improvements, although it's very good right now, as well as releasing the new control.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. Yeah, and something that we've mentioned a couple times, right? Even in the last presentation we did with BRINC, and even people that get the demos, get the quotes, get everything like that, we keep mentioning the fact that there's a training, right?
Yes.
And OnGod covered that pretty extensively as well in the demo. But give us a breakdown if you could. Why is there a need for a training? How is this different from pretty much every drone that's currently on the market right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So very early on, we realized that there are components of flight skill that are going to directly impact the success of a mission. This is not necessarily, from OnGod's world of an autonomous mapping mission where you're outdoors maintaining altitude, everything is automated. It's very, very easy to fly. This system, because you're going into indoors, you have to learn how to go upstairs. You have to learn how to crash and compensate. We feel like it's us being responsible at the end of the day as a manufacturer and ensuring that operators in the field, because these are life and death situations that they're entering into, that they feel really confident because their blood pressure, their heart rate, everything is going to be up when they're on a mission. And so you might get some shaky fingers. So what we ensure at the end of our training is that in high stress environments, operators feel comfortable enough to be able to operate the system. And frankly, it's a risk mitigation tactic. If we had somebody go out into the field, put the glass breaker on the drone, spin it to 30,000 RPM, having never flown the drone, that's a very, very dangerous situation and a risk that we're not willing to take. And so because SWAT operators and tactical operators are so accustomed to training, no matter what they do, if it's a new piece of technology, or if it's a 100-year-old tactic, these guys are always training and preparing for their mission. So how could we expect as the manufacturer to give them a state-of-the-art piece of technology and not continue that tradition of training that they do day to day? And our customers right now, they tell us that they train every single day.
Wow. And so how many days is this training going to be taking?
Sure. So training is 3 days. We are in the process right now of building out a 7,000 square foot world-class indoor tactical flying facility here in Las Vegas. However, all of our approved distributors and resellers like Drone Nerds are going to be providing training as well. So our curriculum is 3 days, generally Tuesday through Thursday, and you're going to be doing a combination of simulator work, flying smaller systems, flying the Lemur. And so you will be able to take that curriculum and use it as a train-the-trainer model. So what we suggest is that departments send their top 2 or 3 pilots, the pilots with the most stick time, send them to our school or send them to Drone Nerds, and you would walk out of there being able to go back home and train your more novice pilots using our curriculum.
Wonderful. So future of the drone. Now, is there an idea to make this more of a, not just an indoor tactical solution, but also looking into to provide like aerial surveillance during say mission, or is this would that be a different drone by BRINC?
So yeah, great question. So as On God mentioned, we very recently closed a significant round of financing, which is going to allow us to develop our product roadmap a bit more. So the Lemur is going to stick to being an indoor tactical drone for the next couple years. However, when we continue to hire more engineering power, expand out our operations, we're actually going to be developing new products. And so when it comes to ISR missions or other public safety use cases, it would be a different airframe, gimbalized optics, EOIR, everything that the industry demands from a larger outdoor system. So we'll be building new products.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Yeah. We got a little sneak peek there from what Anga was able to show us for that new holder. That's going to be for the Lemur, which is going to definitely change it up a little bit, right? When going out into the field, and it's the same question we always get, right, with every single company. What's coming down the line? What's happening? What else are you guys planning? I mean, to be very frank, this is a pretty big product for just coming out into the market, and it's pretty amazing to see exactly what it can do just on the first run. Right, it's already fitting a very, very specific market, and it's clearly because of the work that your engineers have done, what they put into it, and then also, your affiliation with the police department, being able to actually work with them and integrate with them and hear their feedback.
Absolutely, and I think an important part of that, Sam, is and yes, we are a company that's based in Las Vegas. We've had a great relationship with Las Vegas Metro. I don't want it to sound like that's the only type of environment that we operate in is Las Vegas. At this point, we've done 25 plus demos all around the world, different type of operating environments. And so this is a tool that has been tested and used in different type of environments and regions of the country.
Right. Which is what makes it great, right? You guys are also open to feedback, improvements. And as you mentioned last time, this platform is the growth platform, right? It's going to be one of those great things. And I'll just remind everybody online right now, it's one of those things that the Lemur is going to be around. It's not going to be like a DJI product where 2 years it's gone and now you have all these batteries, accessories, and what do you do with it, right? It's something that you guys are going to build on. It's a platform that you're going to work from and add on to. So it's only going to get better, right?
That's right.
And then, Joe, I know you had a question about ongoing support.
Yeah, so ongoing support, you guys are talking about that. What does that look like with BRINC?
Yeah, sure. So right now we offer a full 1-year manufacturer's warranty. Anything happens to the system from our end, send it in, we'll take care of it. And we have a 3-year limited warranty. So certain aspects of the drone we will replace over a 3-year period. And then we have a loaner program. So if you do crash your drone beyond repair, so the only time that you would need to send it back to us, if something happens to the fuselage or something happens to the camera payload. If that happens, you call us up, or Drone Nerds, we will overnight you an airframe, teach you how to bind it, and then send it back to either one of us for repairs. If you buy your drones through Drone Nerds, they will be offering all of the same warranties as well as the same repair and RMA services. So we definitely like to extend that to our channel like Drone Nerds. But initially here, if you do break your drone beyond repair, you would need to send it to us for repair. Over time, Drone Nerds will have that capability, but today that's the way it would roll out.
All right. So we had mentioned working with Vegas SWAT and working with since 2020 of February. Now, are there any other SWAT teams using this at the moment right now? From my knowledge, there's a lot of interest right now. Any others at the moment?
Yeah, there are departments all around the country using the system right now.
Wonderful. Another question just popped in is, now we saw those really tactical looking FPV goggles. Now, is this working with any FPV goggle maybe that supports encryption, correct? Talk to me more about this.
No, so we only offer one type of FPV goggle right now. So right now, the FPV goggles come as part of the base Lemur kit because of our controller configuration. The minute that we release the new controller, we will give the end user the option. You can either fly via the built-in monitor or you can fly via FPV goggles, whatever you feel more comfortable with. But we have a specific goggle that we like to use for multiple reasons.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Something I want to ask is every officer's favorite word to hear, right? Firmware updates, right? You're out in the field, you're about to go into a house, you're about to go do a surveillance, something's happening, and nothing can take off because you have a firmware update that just minutes ago. Talk to me about that.
There's no firmware updates.
Perfect.
I come from a background of working with public safety and DoD. So does Brett from FLIR. I think one of the biggest things here at BRINC, and this is incredibly true of Blake Resnick, our founder and CEO, is that he listens and we listen. If you have any feedback, if there's anything that you thought from today's demo or from stuff you've read, you should send us an email about it and we're going to take it to heart. I think one thing is that our level of passion here at BRINC is very high. And that means that we really do hurt when we aren't able to succeed. And with that in mind, we know you can't do that. I've been on missions before where my drone wouldn't take off in the past and I had to be operational, in that commercial sense, right? Not in a tactical sense, but in the commercial sense. And it didn't work out. And those are bad moments. So the BRINC Lemur does not have any software updates. If it does, it's something you're going to get an email about, and it's going to have to be something that you have ample time to do, and it will never stop you from flying. This does not have a GPS. There are no geofences. There is not much autonomy on this thing at all, and that's because this is designed for the use case that we've talked about. This is designed for tactical operations.
Yeah, and that's honestly the best thing to hear, because especially getting a call from a client, hey, I'm in the field, like this thing's not taking off. It's a call I don't like having.
We've all been there.
We've all been there. So because we don't use GPS, you'll never have a geofencing problem. And that grounding due to a forced firmware update is not going to happen with our system. At the end of our training program, the operator will be able to open the case and be in the air in 45 seconds.
So a question. So one of my favorite features about the Lemur is that communication feature and being able to talk through that. And that was wonderful, being able to sit in the hood of that car and actually have that conversation even live. That's just wonderful. So from my understanding, is it 10 hours for a perch time, as we're calling it, the perch time you're calling it? And this could be flown into a project there and then landed and then spoken for a full 10 hours in conversation. Talk to us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So each Lemur comes with its own LTE board. So depending on what telecom provider the end user is working from, we can make sure that you have the right provider, so you always have cell service. And because our battery technology is so efficient, you're able to land the Lemur, kill the motors, and sit there for up to 10 hours. And as long as your cell phone is charged, you're going to be able to have two-way communication that entire time. And the recording that's happening on board is not only capturing video, it's also capturing that audio as well. Evidence is very important in these types of operations and redundancies.
Gotcha. From my understanding, doesn't it just starts recording immediately? Is that talk to us more about how that works? Because I've definitely been in the moments where I forgot to hit the little red button or so on, and this goes right into it.
You plug the battery in, it's recording.
Wow.
So during a hostage situation or a barricade situation, you will likely run out of SD card space before you run out of battery. So something to consider. 10 hours is a pretty long time. And usually with the Lemur, from all the feedback that we've received from customers, when a suspect sees a blacked out drone yelling at them, it tends to be pretty effective.
Certainly. We're talking about batteries now. Recharge time on a battery. What are we looking at?
0 to 90% in 45 minutes.
That's a lithium ion, correct?
That's correct.
Excellent.
So 500 charge cycles with our battery. The longevity is drastically more than anything else out there.
And going back to the battery time itself, right? Let's say your battery runs out, right? You've maximized the full 31 minutes, or you're at 20% left. You're expecting a warning signal or chime or something to go off, and the drone goes up 100 feet and returns home, right? Talk to me about that feature.
So right now, you will have to manually fly the drone out. We do not have an automatic return to home feature. So you'll have battery power on your either in your goggles or on your ground control station. And so you would, once you get to a certain capacity, need to fly the Lemur back out and recharge and put another battery in. So right now we do not have a return to home feature because that's a GPS function.
Right, and the same goes with you know, losing signal or anything like that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this thing has ridiculous amounts of signal built into it.
Yeah.
You know, it's going through concrete barriers, rebar, everything like that. So I mean, the time frame before you lose signal, your battery will most likely be dead at that point.
That's right.
Talking about the battery again. Now it sounds like this lithium ion. It's a really interesting technology. Now the owner, the designer Blake, right? How he has some experience in this, from my understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. So Blake worked at both McLaren as well as Tesla, and at both companies he worked on the battery technology. So the easiest way to say it is it's a little Tesla battery inside of your drone. That is hyper efficient and just more durable. So that came from Blake's experience working at those two companies, and I think I don't know of any other drone companies in the world that use a chemistry like that. So it is definitely something that's very unique to the Lemur and helps in the type of operations that our users conduct.
It actively cools the battery, like in flight or something, or is it just kind of how it just operates in that way?
It's very efficient. It's very efficient in power consumption, every aspect of it, as well as you don't have to store it at any certain capacity like you do with a LiPo.
Right.
And the 500 cycles is amazing.
It's a lot.
That's
It's a lot. Yeah, I mean, our longest customer, who's had the drone operational for probably 8 months at this point, they've been operating the entire time off of 3 batteries, and they fly every single day.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, guys, you know, I don't see any more questions or any other ones being typed up or anything like that. But, you know, Brett, On God, thank you guys again so much for the time today. Thank you for the demo. It was very thorough. It was very impressive. It was awesome to see glass break again. I got to see it in person.
It's always fun.
On video.
Always.
On God, I'm glad you got glasses on, man. Just
I got hit right here on the cheek, but
His beard protects him too.
the beard is an extra layer of defense.
there you go.
Love that.
Well, guys, thank you again so much for the demonstration. Thank you guys again for the time. Thank you everybody who's joined us. Again, everyone, it's myself, Joe, Brett, On God. If you guys have any questions, anything like that, reach out to us. We will be sending this webinar out. It is being recorded, so you will be able to see the live demonstration again. Thank you guys again for your time.
Thank you guys so much for your time. We appreciate it. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye, guys.